stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can. To the letter rock, turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool?
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Pollard. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Number 53, Mike 53.
On 2nd down and 4, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Check, blue 60. Check, watch 54, watch 54. No chance.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
11 yards there, first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there, first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 37-yard line. Now Stafford. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 19. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now it's Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Hey, Charlie.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Stafford looks to throw again. He finds Beckham, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. On 2nd and goal, Stafford. This is the tight end, Njoku. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes. and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on, 59. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. All day, dog.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
and this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
40.
First down, and it's Pollard again. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Fifty-six. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
On first down, Allen toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Complete in the end zone. Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Keep it up, guys.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 40 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets into 3rd and 3 now. Stafford on 3rd down. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And they have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
22.
From the red zone now, Stafford to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that. Orbit. Give me that ball, defense. 49.
To throw again, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look. And the pressure gets to him again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jannard Avery. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. "36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And here's Allen throwing again. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be, 38 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
49, hey, Delta. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. March 49.
Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught by OBJ. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ed Oliver coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Throwing on second and long. Stafford.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
32.
Operating from the gun. Stafford going deep here for Landry. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. He was looking for Landry that time. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Allen now looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Here's Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Fields. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
After the interception, here's Stafford. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. If feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
319! 44 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A good pickup there, 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Allen. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to look really good.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 12 yards there and a first down. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Intended for David Njoku. Jabril Peppers on the cover.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
To throw again. Stafford. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 35.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Stafford on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
3rd and long. It's Stafford. It's caught. Beckham. The end result, 21 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's second down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Stafford looking for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Browns get a score closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Throwing is Stafford. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as head play backfires in a big way. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
He's not going to give me.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Mike Popo. Stay with your man.
From the gun, it's Allen. Open man here is Foster. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the...
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mike Popo. Go. You better be afraid of me. Go.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you, you're in a dire situation now.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Pollard again. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 30.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Run for Pollard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the 44, Mike, 44.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Bills, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.